everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube series on meditation. This is the second video, I think. So in the previous video, we talked a little bit about what meditation is, who should meditate, and kind of why you should meditate, what the benefits are. So I invite you to check that out in the previous video. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about where should you meditate and when should you meditate. So, there's sort of this idealized notion that we all need to take a pilgrimage to Bali or to India and sit in a beautiful ashram or temple and, sit before a monk or a Buddhist priest or something, and that's the only way to meditate. Well, the honest truth is that that's not going to be realistic for everybody. I mean, I would love to have that experience at some point, but chances are you're not going to really be able to do that, at least not every single day. So how can we bring that sort of sense of space into our own individual homes, offices, buildings, wherever we find ourselves, so that we can find a comfortable space to meditate? So really one of the most important things that I think about is just your comfort level. So you can see I have this nice little setup here in my office off my garage. And it's a very comforting space for me to sit, but it's not always a place that I can actually come to meditate. Sometimes I just need to meditate in the closet. And those of you who have taken classes with me before know that I literally have taught classes from my closet. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? If you've got little kids and they're watching TV for 30 minutes and you're like, I can breathe, find yourself a space where you can still hear them, but you can sit and just meditate for a few moments. So when you think of a space, my version of a space or my suggestion is cultivate a beautiful space that you really can step into and have that experience of like, I have arrived. This is my meditation space. And that can be something as a little bit more elaborate, like what I have here, or it can be sitting outside on a park bench. It can be a very special cushion that maybe you have that you can easily transport from place to place. So if you can't be in your normal meditation room or corner of your house, that cushion all of a sudden starts to evoke, yes, it's time to relax, it's time to let go, it's time to meditate. Another thing that's really beautiful about where you should meditate is that the more that you let go of the environment, the easier it's going to be for you to be able to meditate in different places. So what happens if you're going strong with your meditation practice, you're on day 25 and your family goes on vacation and you've become so rigid in having to meditate in that space all the time that once you go on vacation, you kind of feel weird and you don't know how to settle into that meditation space. So that's where bringing that cushion could be really helpful. Perhaps you have, I don't have one here, but a crystal that really helps you center. So as long as you're holding that crystal or other token or totem, you immediately start to drop into that energy. Perhaps it's an essential oil that helps evoke that feeling of peace and calm. So you can dab a little bit on your wrists or behind your ears, and instantly you are transporting yourself into a place where you can meditate. So trust me, I'm all for having a beautifully curated space that automatically induces the feeling of wanting to meditate. But I also recognize that the act of meditating is more important than where you meditate. So in order to facilitate that, take a few of these little pieces, make them your own, and cultivate a beautiful space where you can meditate anytime, anywhere. So here's the next piece. When should I meditate? All right, so this is kind of fun because you can meditate any time of day. Sure, there might be some benefits to maybe meditating first thing in the morning, just like working out, or meditating right before you go to bed. But the honest truth is that the act of meditating alone is going to help you so much that it really doesn't matter when you meditate. Now, with that being said, in Kundalini Yoga, we are taught that if you meditate 2 to 2.5 hours before the sun comes up in the morning, which can be very early depending on where you live, that you're actually hitting there's certain angles that the planet is angled in a certain way that actually allows a deeper connection to the universe, to the infinite. It's like a 66-degree angle or something like that. So in addition to that, we have been taught that our brain enters sort of that REM sleep more towards the sort of right before you get up. So if you can interrupt that, and that's that really active sleep, and I hope I got that right, but that's that really active sleep. You know how when you think, oh, I don't want to get up, and then you try to go back to bed, and you have these really vivid dreams and really active things that are happening. So what's happening from a yogic perspective is that when you interrupt that process by getting up and meditating, say at 4 o'clock in the morning, for example, you are actually cleaning your subconscious and allowing yourself to take control of the day before the day takes control of you. So have you ever felt like, and if you have meditated, so I have gotten up sometimes to meditate that early, and then I go back to bed, but it feels different. It feels like, almost like I took out the trash before the trash had a chance to pile up in my mind. And sometimes those crazy dreams can be really disturbing. And so then you wake up feeling mad or upset and you're not really sure why. So ideally, there are some benefits to meditating early in the morning, first thing in the morning, similar about 2.5 hours, between that 4 and 7 p.m. time in the evening as well. Also, it can be really lovely to engage in some kind of meditation before you go to bed, because if you're anything like me, you know, my thoughts tend to race a lot as I'm going to bed. I'm laying down. Did I do everything I needed to do? Did I finish the to-do list? What do I have to do tomorrow? So if you can kind of calm the brain, cleanse the mind, sort of take out the trash, right? Then it can actually help promote a deeper sleep. So where should you meditate? Cultivate a space that feels really good to you, whether it's a, you know, ideal space, or whether it's just a feeling of a space so that you can take your meditation practice anywhere you go. And when should you meditate? Anytime. If you can do it early in the morning or in the evening, beneficial. Otherwise, another tip is just anytime during the day, maybe every 2 or 3 hours, you can kind of go for a little walk or just sit at your desk and just kind of close your eyes and meditate a little bit. So thank you so much for being here today. I am grateful to be able to share this information with you. If you have any questions at any point in time, please feel free to reach out, send me an email, post in the comments below. And thank you so much for being here.